It's common to have conversations about what you do in your free time and what you do or what kind of activities you participate during that. In this lesson, we're going to talk about how to have conversations related to this and some useful vocabulary that relates to this. Before we get started, hi, I'm Ajit from Capshine. Capshine is a revolutionary learn it together English fluency program. With Capshine, learning English is easy, quick, fun, affordable, and effective, and we promise a whole new you in 6 months or less. Let's look at what we're going to do in this lesson. We're going to look at some common questions, some common conversation points, phrases, how to construct correct sentences in context of talking about free time, and of course, some phrases that we can use correctly, and some idiomatic vocabulary as well. Let's get started, shall we? For instance, you could have a conversation that says, what do you like to do in your free time? And how do you respond to that? Well, one of the ways is to say, I like playing video games, cycling, and walking my dog. How do we construct these sentences? What are the different ways to say this? Let's talk about that. A common question or a conversation point is, what do you like to do after work? There are a lot of things that we'd like to do after work. It's very common to use the incorrect forms and incorrect grammatical construction when talking or responding to this question though. How do you respond to it correctly? So the format that you want to use is to say I like plus something called the infinitive form plus the activity itself. Now infinitive is essentially the basic verb form without the to. Let's see how that works. Or rather, basic word form with the to. I like to play with the dogs in the shelter. So, what do you like to do after work? I like to play with the dogs in the shelter. Notice the use of I like and then the verb form to play and whatever it is that you like to do as part of that activity with the dogs in the shelter. I like to go on long bicycle rides after work. Notice again, I like to, and then go on. And then whatever that is that you're doing, the activity itself. Can you think of other examples of this? What do you like to do after work? Try to figure that out and write it down and see if you can figure out the right construction to describe your activity. What do you enjoy doing? So this question asks you in general, what do you enjoy doing? You can answer this by saying I enjoy, add the gerund form. So this is the ing form of a word. So this looks like a verb, but really it isn't. It talks about an activity and additional details about it. I enjoy reading in my garden. I enjoy spending time with my close friends. Great. What do you enjoy doing? Again, try to figure out what that is and try to make that as a conversation point that you could use later. Another common conversation point is, what do you like to do on the weekends? This is specific because a lot of us do different things on the weekends compared to what we do on weekdays. On the weekends, look at the introductory phrase, on the weekends, the subject I like, and then whatever the activity is. So if you have only one activity, list that activity out. If you have two activities, use an and to combine both of them. For example, on the weekend, I like reading, gardening, and cooking. Notice that there are three activities. I'm using the ing or the gerund form, and I've listed out three activities with an and. I like playing video games, watching shows on Netflix, and riding my bike. The format is the same, just that I'm using a little bit more information, or rather giving a little bit more information about these activities itself. Again, on the weekends, I like and whatever your activity is. Another question that you could ask or have asked is, do you like a particular activity? For example, do you like swimming? Do you like gaming? Do you like listening to music? You respond to this by saying either I like activity and then saying, but I don't know how to, right? For example, I like swimming, but I don't know how to. Or you could just say, no, I don't like gaming. Or you could just agree, yes, I like listening to music, right? So if you have something to add on, use a conjunction and, or if it's contrary, like here, use but to add on some additional information as appropriate. Let's talk about phrases to use correctly. When you're talking about these activities, when you're talking about what you like to do in your free time, some phrases that can help you go a long way. What do you like doing? I like listening to music. You don't say I like to listening to music. That is incorrect. I like listening to music. I like going shopping. I like going to the gym. I spend my time doing yoga. When I have a lot of free time, I like exercising. All these are phrases you could use to talk about what you do in your free time correctly. Right? Let's look at some more examples. You like spending time with people. After work, I like spending time with my family. Watching Netflix, TV or movies. When I'm alone with my friends on the weekends, I like watching Netflix. I enjoy spending time with my family or friends. I like to spend time watching series on Netflix. That said, these days, the new generation or the kids have a lot of made-up words, and this has become part of everyday communication. So if you want to be one of the cool people, or if you want to understand what they're trying to say, here's a quick list of phrases that the new generation use. When they say, I love Netflixing, it essentially means that they like sort of sitting down or sleeping and watching Netflix series one after the other for a long duration. I'll talk more about another related vocabulary soon. So to use Netflix recreationally is Netflixing. Are you Googling? So when someone uses the search engine Google, or they just use any search engine to find information, this is called Googling. Some people might like Googling in their free time. That's how they learn things about different things. We are going on a glamping trip next week. This seems like a made-up word. It is. This is the mix of glamour and camping. You might have seen in Instagram and many other social media that people take amazing pictures, they take glamorous shots when they are going hiking or when they're in nature. That's essentially glamping. When they go on these vacations or these camping trips with one sole purpose of taking amazing pictures or videos, that's glamping. This is something that's quite related to media consumption these days, binge watching. Have you ever sat and watched entire seasons of specific series? Like I binge watched the entire series, or rather about 6 seasons of this series called Suits. And that was binge watching, and I watched it over just a few days' time. That is called binge watching, and people do this quite often, binge watching. They watch it compulsively, they watch many episodes one after the other in any given day. I binge watch an entire season of The Office. Great, I hope you like this video. Make sure you use these conversation points and the vocabulary discussed in your conversations when talking about your free time. If you aren't part of our membership or our subscribe membership already, get your free trial by going to capshine.com or downloading the app from the Play Store. Thanks for watching.